technical difficulties there. TV and internet. We are 100% done with the install. So if you are having issues, please let us know. We will get out to your units and take a look. We're finding that most of the calls coming in are definitely localized, so it's impacting your unit, not the whole campus. So if you have any concerns or having issues with it, please let us know. We'll get out there and take a look at it for you. But the infrastructure install is complete. So we're excited about that. We are working on still continue to work on a couple of channels we want to add to the programming. So I haven't released the channel guide at this point, but it's in the near future as soon as we can get the channels programming and the lineup correct within our system. We have a couple hallmark channels that have not appeared in our programming. So that is coming. We're going to make sure that happens. So with the TV and internet, if you have any concerns, it is localized and we will address them on your units. Okay. Mary Lee? Mary Lee? I would be this little clicker up here like this. That'll be my symbol, okay? Chapel and door improvements, something we've talked about for the last couple months. We are improving the chapel doors here. As everyone knows, if you've been here during programming, they're very loud when someone comes in. So we are changing the operators on each one of these doors in here so we can quiet them during our programming. So that is estimated to start in June. It won't impact you, but you will see that you will see work going on there. It might be during or it might be before and after some of the programming we have. Also, the fiber. Verizon is done. They're done doing all of their installs here on campus, and they will start reaching out to all the residents on campus about upgrading or changing your service inside of your unit. This there's no charge for it, there's no fee. If you currently have phone with Verizon, you'll continue to have phone. They're going to convert that phone over to a fiber network that they've installed here on campus. So not going to impact you greatly. You do have an opportunity to upgrade, so they'll most likely try to upsell you, which is okay. They'll let you know all the programming that's available with the new Verizon system that we have here on campus. So if you currently have Verizon, you can stay just like you are. Your bills will stay the same. If you decide to upgrade internet, TV, Fios, or any of those sources that they have, you can do that now that we have the fiber network here on campus. And I see a hand.
This is like an FYI. Mm-hmm. We still have a landline, and we do have a landline and a cell. But anyway, just for everybody's information, the landline, the electric box was in the basement, so they connect this new thing to the electric box in the basement, and then you can opt for battery backup if the electric goes off, because if the electric goes off, you will not have a landline unless you have this battery box. And the battery box is supposed to be off when you're not using it. So that means if the electric goes off, I would have to go down to the basement with a flashlight to turn this battery box on to have a landline work. That's the truth.
I believe you. I'm not sure why the system works like that, but I'm going to look into it to see why. Normally those batteries will.
Well, I didn't have any instructions that came with my battery box, and it's 12D batteries. And I had to go out and buy 12D batteries. Wow. And there was no instructions with the box, but I saw an off-on switch, so I had to go on the internet to find something about this box, and that's where I found out that the switch should be off when you don't have to use it.
Okay. What unit number are you? What unit are you in?
27 Oakwood.
27 Oakwood. I'm going to have Danny Dubel come out and see you. He's our electrician here on campus. I want him to see that. I want him to put eyes on it, because that kind of strikes me. It's hard to believe you would have to have that large of a battery system to support it. So maybe there is something we can do or work with Verizon on. So thank you for that. So I will follow up.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, like I said, this does not impact your existing service. It just changes it over to the fiber network that they put here on campus, but they will offer you to upgrade or let you know about any type of service, other services they have. Okay. Fox Run, as everyone sees, we've started working on the second villa building. We are officially out of the ground, so that means all the foundations are in that need to be in place, and you will start seeing the elevator towers and the stair towers go up on that building here in the next few weeks. So they're anticipating that to take about 3 weeks, and then the framing and wood structure will start to come in. Barteed Haven, we completed the occupancy inspection for our most current one for our existing, for the access control system on Barteed Haven. So we've submitted the paperwork to DHS, Department of Human Services. They're the ones who certify the unit to allow us to move residents into that unit. That process, they'll give us a few comments. We've already started to get some back. We submitted last week. We've already got a couple, so we got to do a couple things to support their needs. And the landscaping for that building, if you drive by it, looks pretty bad right now, but that will be starting here tomorrow. I know they'll probably get about a third of it done, and then we have some rain. We've been fighting the weather on campus or everywhere with the rain. As much rain, we can't get onto the ground to seed and do the sod that we need to do for that unit. So. Any questions about those two projects? Yes, all the way in the back. I can repeat, merely.
From there. Yes.
Hi, I'm a resident of the Fox Run. I'm a resident of the Fox Run building that's currently up. Just curious, was there any thought given to the effects that the construction project would have on our existing apartments? I mean, sometimes I feel like I'm in the middle of a construction zone out there with the various trucks and vehicles going back and forth and so on. And I just don't know that was ever thought about doing something about that or not.
So is it the vehicle traffic in front of your building?
Oh, everything. They're digging. They're carrying truckloads of dirt back and forth. They're bringing materials in. There's all sorts of things going on. It's a construction site, but it all comes through the front of the existing building to get to that area.
Well, we might be able to, let me look into it. I'll talk to the GC on the project. We might be able to take them a different route into that rather than coming down what we refer to as the Grub Road extension and coming across the road in front of your building where you guys are located. We can bring them onto campus and then bring them down down the new Kettering Drive extension possibly. So I'll talk to the contractor.
Okay.
But they do have work hours. They do not or cannot start work before 7. No loud jacking or jackhammering or anything like that prior to 8 o'clock. So they do have some parameters there, but it is a construction area, so we'll try to address the challenges as much as possible.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And also, just an FYI, part of the Barteed Haven that I mentioned here with the cleanup of doing that and putting sod and grass in on that, we're also taking care of the villa building at the same time, the building that you're in. So we'll be addressing that. It's on that schedule with that. Okay.
So you
Yes,
would,
ma'am.
so the sod and seed is going to be, that was my question,
Yes.
with
Yes.
villas. They're
Yes.
going to start doing it at the same time as Barteed.
Yeah, we're going to do they're starting at Barteed Haven, the sod and seed, and once they're done Barteed Haven, they're moving to the villa building.
Okay, the one thing I can tell you, though, that I've been impressed with, because our garage is on the side of the construction.
Mhm.
Every night that is cleaned up.
Good.
I mean, it does come over onto the macadam, but every night that is cleaned up.
Okay. Very good.
But yeah, there's a lot of construction vehicles, but that's just construction.
Yeah, they should not be parking in front of your building, and we do have those no park areas.
Right,
So we'll
yeah.
work we'll do as much as we can, but we need to hold them to occasionally, they will get out of hand down there. I expect
Well,
that, so. we
Sometimes,
can talk to 'em.
sometimes we have to park out front because they're construction vehicles. We can't swing into our parking garage.
Yeah, that's just, hopefully,
saying.
once we're out of the ground, once the elevator towers and we need some of that bigger
Right.
equipment not there, that starts to minimize,
Yeah,
so.
cool.
But thank you.
That's it.
You're welcome. Okay, next slide, Mary Lee. This is a new update. These are a couple of the others, or a few that I've had. No, this isn't the new one. The next slide is the new one. Open air pavilion. As you can see, if you've been over by the maintenance shop and in the pavilion area, you can see that structure actually starting to erect itself. There's a crew out there doing that. They're putting in, you'll see the roof trusses and you'll see everything going on this week and next week. Concrete is scheduled for the second week of June, which is right around the corner. All intentions to be done and ready to go for the chicken barbecue right around the corner. And the maintenance building, if you haven't been back there, we did an extension on the maintenance garages out back, and that building is completed. We got the CO on that building, and maintenance staff is starting to move in. Just an FYI, everybody was familiar over in what IT was over in the old wood shop, adult daycare, depending on how long you've been here. We are moving IT services to the old maintenance shop area. So that old office where Corey and Danny now are stationed, once this move happens over into the new maintenance building, IT services will be down there. We're creating space for them. It'll have an exterior exit or entry so everybody can get in and see them directly, but that's where the IT support and services will be if you need to speak to them. And this is the new slide. I presented it at the quarterly auxiliary meeting here a couple weeks ago, and I wanted to take a few minutes here just to explain what's happening with our sidewalk program. We looked at the campus and realized that for many years we needed to do enhancements of our existing sidewalk infrastructure here on campus. We have some high-risk areas when walkers are out. Some of our turns and stop areas and intersections are real risky if you're an active walker here on campus. The first phase of that sidewalk enhancement is what you see, and I know it's kind of small on the top of the screen there where it says Project 1. That is the first piece that will be starting here in the next, about the end of June, anticipating that to run to August. And what will happen is, as you can see at the top of the screen where Lafayette Drive is, that little red line, we will start the sidewalk there, which will be the connector to the play park. It will come down all the way down to 404 Community Circle. You can see where it crosses the road. We're talking about putting a speed bump there, but we are not. We are just going to do a crosswalk there. It will continue down and meet the, it's actually going through on this drawing, it showed it stopping at the first entrance to the community center parking lot. That is changing. We were fortunate enough and very appreciative to the auxiliary giving us $25,000 for this project. So that has helped us extend that. So we will be moving through all of those entrances of the parking lot, and then the second phase will start after that. So this is something that has been needed for a long time. This is a very high-risk safety area for walkers. There's a lot of activity there with the pickleball courts and service vehicles over on that end, trash pickups on that end, and it is a blind corner for drivers when walking. So what's going to happen is we're going to take out the line of pines, very large pines that are along that road. They're starting to really choke themselves out. So we're going to take those out. We will be putting some type of flowering tree there. We feel that's very, very important. So you'll actually go up on top of that hill, and then you'll be way off of the road. So we reduce that risk. Any questions about that? Yes.
What's the total cost of that first phase?
First phase, $55,000.
Are you breaking the sidewalk into segments for donations?
We are, yes. We are talking to development. We have a couple things we're adding to the sidewalk, some resting areas, areas where you can sit down, bench program. Also, pets. When you're walking your pets, there'll be some hookups that they can hook and keep a lanyard on the pet. So it'll allow the pet to go off leash. We're doing that capability at each one of the sitting areas as we work through our sidewalk program. But that is a conversation that we will be having with, I will be having with Lisa Thomas about doing some extra donations. We will always take donations, and you will see something come out for that for sure. But the second phase will be at the end, down here at the bottom where the parking lot ends, and go down to Kettering Court. Okay, so the Kettering Court entrance there. That's the second phase of this project. I don't have it shown up here because we estimate it to be about 2 years out. We also have a new sidewalk going down Kettering Drive. We're still in the planning process of how to do that. I did present that at the auxiliary meeting, but felt that it's a little far out and I don't have it finalized, so we're going to wait a little bit on that one. Any other questions? Okay. Yes.
Is the sidewalk that's going to be coming from over on Kettering Drive between the buildings, is that coming also before the sale?
Yes. Yes, that won't be a sidewalk. We're using some of the fines in there, and you'll see that coming along with that temporary road behind the barns. Mhm. What she's referencing is we're doing a temporary sidewalk for an entry into the yard sale this year. And we're going to be using some of the fines that we were shaved off of the Grub Road during that project. We contacted North Londonderry and asked them if we could have all that material because we do a lot of sidewalks and a lot of foundations here on campus, and we got that for free. So we gave them a dropping point. So we'll be using some of that material to create that entrance to the yard sale this year. Okay, well, I think that's it for me. And I'd like to take a couple minutes. Like I said, I've been mentioning this for quite a few months that we're going to start introducing or inviting some other departments here to come on campus or come into my presentation and kind of support and give you a look at some of the areas, just as I've done with all of my departments. So hopefully this is the start of that. Next couple months, I'll be inviting a couple others departments to come out. So hopefully in July and possibly August, September, we'll be able to see a couple others. But we're going to start with the business office. If everybody doesn't know, this is Henry Brubaker. He is the CFO here for Londonderry Village, and I think this is a department that definitely really gets involved with the residents here at Londonderry Village, and through some of the meetings I've had over the years, they've asked the business office to come in. So I've asked them to come in today and do a snapshot of their department. And I will be here after the meeting if anybody has any questions or anything, but we'll close after them. Yes, ma'am.
I just have a question.
Sure.
What are the plans for Kettering Court? Because like we rented over there before Fox Run was, so they all look empty. What, like, we were told that, like, if we had family come in from out of town, that they could rent one of the cottages. But what is the plan for those rentals on Kettering Court?
Kettering Court, I may be getting ahead of Alicia's notification because if the
Probably.
being you're asking, it is coming back online. We are bringing those units back online. Not all. There's 14. I always want to say there's not a number 13. If anybody's been here
No,
a long
there's
time,
not.
they never put a 13 in Kettering Drive. So I
Nope.
get Kettering Court and I get confused with it. Those 14 units will be coming back online. We will be We'll be selling them as we would normally do in our program, and there will be a couple that we will have for our short stay or our rentals in that rental program. If anybody currently has a rent or has dates rented over there in Kettering Court, we're going to work to accommodate them. We do have some time. It's going to take us some time to get that court back online. So we are looking at the program with the rentals that are already there and also the ones that are empty. But if you do call in and you're asking for a rental, just know we are going to go from having 3 on-site rentals to 2. So we're going to take the 2 efficiency units over there and bring them online for our short stay rentals that we have. And with that said, Henry Brubaker.
Thank you, Francis. I think most of you know who I am, but we thought it would be good for all of you to hear a little bit about the business office. You get mail from us every month, so we thought it would be good opportunity for you to meet us. We'll do that mostly by pictures, and then also I'll give some comments about some of the functions that we do here at the business office. If you don't know, the business office is located here in the community center. When you come in the doors by the pharmacy, right behind that reception desk is the business office. And to start off, we are going to have an introduction of our staff, and I will introduce our controller, Julie Lucy, who's going to introduce the members of our staff. Julie has been with us 8 years. This past weekend, she celebrated her 8th year with us, and she's been working maybe behind the scenes, but she will take a moment here to introduce the staff that work in our office.
Thank you, Henry. Hi again, I am Julie Lucy, and I manage the business office team. We have an amazing team. Each person is very important. Each person does multiple things besides their primary job, and so it's a very well-run and very efficient because they work very well together. So, because of that, I want to introduce them in alphabetical order, since there is no importance one over the other. We do have part-time receptionists that are here generally in the evenings, weekends, holidays at Leffler, and then they will take over also for our full-time receptionists that are out on vacation or sick. So our part-time receptionists are Yoli Gaishlin, Amy Lozer, Tammy Mashad, and Barb Showers. You may remember her. She used to be our full-time receptionist at the community center, and then she retired, so she's back working with us as a part-time receptionist. This is the Snell Community Center reception area, and our receptionist in this area is Sandra Barnes. Most of you know her. She works very closely with Mary Lee and her team to put out the newsletter each month, and other various jobs that each of the receptionists has a lot of different jobs that they do, but that's the main thing that she does. This is Lisa Gardner, our payroll specialist. These are her 2 grandsons, and she has 1 granddaughter on the way, and she does a lot of the cash receipts, putting them into the operating system besides all of her payroll duties, etc. And I forgot to say that Sandra has been here 2 years, and Lisa Gardner has been here over 27 years. This is our Wheaton lobby. This is the reception area for Wheaton. And our receptionist that covers the Wheaton area is Karen Kenny McMullen. Karen's been here almost a year, and this is her family. She went to school for fashion design. She was a vice president of a fashion design company in New York City when she met her executive chef husband in New York. And now they're living here in Lebanon. That's their son. He's first year at Thaddeus Stevens as an electrical engineer. And that's just pictures of her. She has a vintage shop where she sells vintage items. And she's very, very happy to be here, and we're happy to have her. She's our newest member. And this is our Leffler Center reception area. And the person that mans that center is Barb Kreider. And you probably know her. She's been here over 14 years. And there she is with her 5 grandchildren. And I think that's what she enjoys the most, other than being here with the residents. She just loves being with the residents. This is Shay Long. She's in the business office. She's our accounts payable specialist. She also enters a lot of the entries into our EMR system, point-click care. Here she is with her husband and her son, the tall one. And she's not here today because she's with Christian visiting colleges. He'll be a senior, and so she's taking time off to visit all the different colleges that he's considering going to. I guess it'll be a little over a year from now. And this is Donna Lauer. She is another one of our newer members. She's been here about 3 years. She does all of the IL and Medicare billing, and takes care of Med B, Med A, and she takes care of a lot of the information when we have audits for those areas. And this is Christine Stigler. She's been here not quite 2 years. This is what Christine does on the weekends. She works at a horse barn. She loves horses, and she rides a lot. But here on campus, she's our health center and personal care billing specialist. She also is our Medicaid application specialist. She also helps Donna. She's backup for Donna with the IL billing, et cetera. So she's one of our newer members, and we're very happy to have her. She's doing a great job as well. And this is me again. I'm Julie Lucy. This is my husband Eric, and this is Charlie. And I work very closely with Henry, working on the different financial statements, audits, et cetera, anything financially related, as well as managing that wonderful business office team. I asked Henry if he would give me a picture to show up here, even though you know what he looks like. And yeah, that's what he gave me. So the story is about almost 8 years ago at the Good Samaritan dinner, a ventriloquist came and asked Henry if he would mind sitting and being his ventriloquist dummy. And so obviously, clearly he had a mask to put on, and he was a good sport doing that. I'm not sure I could have done that, but he's a great guy to work with, and clearly has a great sense of humor as well. So again, thank you. Thank you for letting us introduce ourselves, and if there's anything at all that you need, any questions that you have, please let us know. We're always here, you know, to answer those questions, or at least find out somebody who can get the answer for us, okay? Do you have any questions? Well, that's good. That's good. Okay, I'll hand it back over to Henry then.
All right, I am going to take a few moments just to quickly go through some of the functions that the business office does. As I mentioned earlier, you do get that monthly bill from us. So one of the main functions that we do is our billing function with Donna and Christine. A key part of that is making sure that we have our census accurate. So when people are admitted, our billing system is driven by who is where. So as people move, people change, we need to keep on top of that to have accurate billing. Also, we have numerous systems across campus. They all operate independently, and we need to collect that data so that it gets on the bill for the resident each month. So therapy has their therapy treatment system where they document who's been seen and the amount of services that have been received. Our TV, internet, phone comes from the facilities department. If you're charging dining purchases on your ID card, we need to bring that information into billing. So there's a lot of data that's around different departments that we need to consolidate onto that bill. So our billing staff does various imports, in some cases some data entry, to get those amounts onto your bill each month. We also bill Medicare and insurances. That's a completely different kind of function. If you've ever read the regulation that goes with that and looked at the bills themselves, the UB4s, the coding, the diagnosis codes, it's a very specialized knowledge that's required to do that, and our billing staff takes care of that. They also have what's called triple check, which is a monthly meeting where the biller who's actually producing the bill sits down with the therapy department, who also brings the medical records team in, and they look at those claims to make sure that they're accurate, that the codes are correct, that the services are right, that the days are correct. All of that needs to be verified before a bill can be sent out to Medicare. Also, our billing function, we assist our residents in applying for Medicaid. As funds begin to run out for our health care and personal care services, Christine from our office will sit down with the family, sit down with the individual, and begin the Medicaid process. There's no additional charge for doing that, but it is a lengthy process requiring a lot of documents to be gathered, a lot of verification of funds that were in accounts, and as accounts are closed and the individual qualifies for Medicaid, it's a really important process to gather that information and get it submitted to the county assistance office in order to qualify for Medicaid or benevolent assistance. And then after the billing, when we receive the deposits and cash receipts, those need to get applied to the correct customer account. Our billing team, as well as some others in the business office, are responsible for doing that each month as those amounts get paid. Shay Long, who does accounts payable, receives large stacks of invoices to get paid every week. We issue payments on Fridays, so she takes those invoices, makes sure that they have the proper approval from our department head team, authorizing payment of those invoices, that the services have been provided and are complete. So she will enter them into our accounting software. About 2.5 years ago, we stopped producing a lot of the payable checks here in our office. It's a time-intensive process to print off all those checks. It takes a lot of my time, or at that point, our CEO was signing checks, and we would have a stack about 1 inch thick every week of checks to sign. We've gone to an automated service where the service, we present the financial information of items to be paid, and they go through a process of either paying by credit card or by paying with bank transfer, or they will issue a check. The benefit of the program, it saves us time, and when they do pay by credit card, there's actually a rebate generated by using the credit card that actually pays for the program itself. So we're not paying anything for this service, and we get a small rebate check back from issuing payments, but it does save us a lot of time not issuing those checks every week. We have approximately 235 employees on our payroll, and we issue payroll every other week on a Friday. And we just completed the implementation of a new payroll system called Paycom. We had been with ADP for more than 20 years and just switched to a new system, trying to get some greater automation in the process. Employees are now able to clock in and out using a cell phone, in addition to a time clock at various places in the building. We've done away with a lot of the paper where you're requesting time off. It's all an automated communication system within the new payroll software. So that's been a huge project, but we have 2 payrolls under our belt, and it certainly seems like we are well underway in making that adjustment. Just making that transition of how employees clock in and clock out was a major cultural change after so many years of going to the same time clock, swiping a card, asking for a new way to clock in was a change, but we are negotiating that. Of course, with payroll comes various withholdings, garnishment, benefit accruals to make sure that people are accruing the proper time off or other benefits that are available through working here at Londonderry Village. And then in addition to all of those functions of operations, we also have the general ledger function. So our billing, our paying the bills, our payroll, they all come together in the general ledger so that we can create accurate financial reports. We do produce monthly financial statements that go to the board of directors for their review. Those financial statements are prepared on an accrual basis of accounting. So not only are we accounting for the cash that came in, we're accounting for things that maybe services have been provided that we haven't been paid for yet. Or maybe we've prepaid a whole year in advance. We don't take all of that expense when we pay it. We increment that out over the period of time that we're getting the benefit of those payments. So our controller does a lot of those reconciliations to make sure things have been recorded properly and prepares the financial statements for the board each month. So we have the operating side that I just reviewed, the things we need to do to keep the business running. Another major part of what we do in the business office is compliance. It's not our favorite part of the job, but it's a necessary part of the job, especially working in the senior healthcare arena. So just to list a few of those organizations that we need to keep happy and make sure that we are in compliance with is CMS, the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services. As I mentioned, they require that we have a triple check process to verify the accuracy of the bills that we're sending out to them. They also require us to have a compliance program in place, making sure that we have the various checks and balances and that there's an active committee looking at all compliance issues related to Londonderry Village. We are also required to submit annual cost reports. These are financial reports that go to CMS in their format where they look at our expenditures related to nursing, related to Medicare services, and they make certain metrics and evaluations of that information. Every 5 years, we're required to do a revalidation with Medicare. That gives us the basis to continue to be a Medicare-approved provider, and we also have to update that every year as members of governance may change. But again, our office is preparing that renewal, saying that we're still in good standing with Medicare. We also prepare on a quarterly basis what is called PBJ, and that's not peanut butter and jelly, but it's payroll-based journal. CMS, in order to verify nursing homes that are 5-star, wants to know the level of staffing that's provided relative to the number of patients being served. So we have to submit reports every quarter that show day by day, by staff member, the hours that they're working in the nursing center. So if we have a staff member who comes in at 11 o'clock on a Friday night and works through until 7 a.m. on Saturday morning, we have to report that staff member by ID and say that they worked 1 hour on Friday and worked 7 hours on Saturday. Then they also require us, regardless of whether you work straight through it, they also require us to make sure that we've deducted at least 0.5 for a meal break. And for those residents working in the greenhouse, because they are multi-function employees, not only are they providing care, but they're doing some cooking and cleaning, they require us to make certain deductions for those team members as well. So we deduct 30% of their time off as non-care time. So as you can imagine, keeping track of all of our employees, where they've worked, the hours that they've worked. Fortunately, we have computers that can process all that, but it is a time-consuming submission that we need to do each quarter, and so that's part of what our business office team is pulling together. We also need to maintain our status with the Department of Human Services, long-term services in the state of Pennsylvania. They are the ones overseeing the Pennsylvania Medicaid program. So the applications that we submit go to the county assistance office for approval. They're looking at those applications, making sure that everything is presented accurately, and we seek to represent the finances well of our residents who are applying for Medicaid. They also have their separate cost reports that are required to be reported every year, and looking at the costs that we incur in nursing and making sure that they fit within the metrics and the analysis that they're providing. We also report to the Pennsylvania Department of Insurance. They are the state entity that gives us a certificate of licensure to operate the independent living CCRC component of our business. When we have built new independent living projects like Fox Run, we need to submit those plans to the Department of Insurance so that they are aware of the project, and they will give their approval. Ultimately, the concern of the Department of Insurance is to ensure solvency for the residents who are, in essence, making an investment to come to the campus, and making sure that those organizations like Londonderry Village are solvent and secure and will be able to provide services for the future for those residents who are counting on receiving those services. One requirement from the department is that we file an annual disclosure statement, and that's due April 30 of every year. So we just filed it for this year, and that is available to all residents and also provided to all prospective residents coming to our campus. So if you wish to read this document, you can get it 3 different ways. It is posted on Touchtown. I would encourage you to go there to find it. That way we don't have to print it. It's available wherever and whenever you want it. There's also a copy available in the library in a small binder on the shelf. I believe there might be some minutes from the ILC close by in that area, but look for it over there. Or you can request a printed copy at the reception desk in the community center, and we'll get that to you. But I would really encourage you to go to Touchtown to find that document. This document is a prospectus of our community. The audited financials are in there, the information about the governing board, just background information about who we are, the services we provide, and really a brief statement of Londonderry Village and what it represents to those who are considering coming here as residents. We have some other organizations that are interested in what we do. We are a tax-exempt 501c3 organization, so the IRS is scrutinizing what we do. We file an annual 990, which lists information about our finances, our governance, our contributors, our debt. It's all listed in there. We have a sales tax exemption with the Pennsylvania Department of Revenue, and we need to renew that every 5 years. We also have a sales tax license where we collect sales tax for some of the sales that we're making. We also have some outside organizations, not government entities, who are watching what we do. Because we do have outstanding bank debt, Fulton Bank is the holder of that debt. They are very interested in the finances of Londonderry Village. We are required to have an annual audit that gets submitted to Fulton Bank. We also have outside investors. We have public bonds, and those bondholders get quarterly financial statements and management discussion about the finances of the organization. So again, not governmental, but certainly interested in what we're doing. There is a municipal bond organization that has compliance requirements that we need to maintain. And then with the various insurance companies and managed care organizations, some of them may have claims audits that we need to submit information for, but there's a whole host of compliance issues that come with them as well. So those are just some of the operational aspects of what we do in the business office, some of the compliance aspects, but the most important is the way that we serve you, the residents. We are here to serve you. We are open for business, and we welcome you to come in and stop by. First and foremost, as Julie mentioned, our receptionists are part of the business office staff. They're the public-facing individuals in our department, and I think many of you know them well, but they are here. If you need assistance with anything, please stop by and see them, and they will direct you to the correct place to hopefully get your answers addressed. We send a representative from the business office to every personal care and healthcare admission. Many times at those points of transitions, family members or residents may have financial questions, and we are there to make sure the paperwork gets signed, but also to address those financial questions as they're making that transition of care. So we do send someone to each of those admissions. We will assist in getting services authorized, billed, and paid by insurances. So as people need various levels of care, we will make sure that we can get those services billed and get paid by insurance. And we assist in Medicaid and benevolent approvals. Again, as funds are expended, making sure that all the processes and documentation is followed in order to get the funding to continue so that the services are uninterrupted while you're a resident at Londonderry Village. The very last part of my presentation is just an update about the insurance advisory services that we offer. And what I'm referring to is for a number of years, we've had Mike Landis from Ballsbach Insurance Agency, who has worked out of the theater room, available for our residents to make appointments on Friday mornings. We have made a decision that at the end of June, Mr. Landis will no longer be working from our facility. We won't be reserving that space for him. The reason for the change is we've looked at our solicitation policies, and we do have a policy that says we are a non-solicitation campus, that we won't promote solicitation of our residents. Certainly, Mike Landis has been much more than just selling a product, been advising residents over many years, and that can continue, but we did feel that by providing the space, we were giving his business an opportunity that we are not giving to many others. There would be many elder care attorneys, many wealth management firms, even funeral homes who would love to have that opportunity to get in with our residents that we have not offered to those others. And in order to level the playing ground, we have decided to discontinue those office hours. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't continue to work with Mike Landis. He is welcome here on our campus. It's just a matter of we won't have the reserved time and space. You can contact him for an appointment. We will continue to give referrals to him. He just won't have the posted office hours on Friday. And then, as you see Mike over these next weeks, certainly feel free to express appreciation. He has been here many years serving our residents. So it is a change, but we wanted to make you aware of that and the reasons for that. So that concludes our part of the presentation, and I think the agenda for today. Are there any questions for me, for Francis? Yes.
Can you tell I'm a newbie? I think it's wonderful to use our badges like for dining and, the haircuts and everything. Have you thought, or has it been researched to use it for the convenience store? A lot of paperwork, I'm sure. You'll need another person You'll need to hire another person.
Well, again, part of that is the community center operates independently from Londonderry Village. It's resident-run, so that would involve quite a bit of training for the residents who are doing that. We have not pursued that at this point.
Sit down.
Anyone else? Okay, well, I think that concludes our agenda. We thank you for coming out, and Francis and Julie and I will be here for a bit if you have any other questions that you would like to ask us.
I also want to remind you that we do have our musical program that will begin by 2:15 today. That's Robert and his wife Martha May that are in from Nashville, Tennessee. They're very well-known people and great voices, so it is a free will offering, just to remind you of that as well.